Purple eye in the canyon. That's where I.
Yeah, boy. 24/7. Yeah, boy.
I put on a couple of LBs, so I just gotta make sure I'm long and lean, you know.
I see that little tummy trumpet.
Do you? It's not.
Dude, what's a
It's actually not bad.
What's a tummy trumpet?
It's when you got the farts, I think.
No. Hold on. We need to dissect this. Is there a lighter anywhere? You want to throw one at me?
You gonna dissect it or smoke it?
Dude, I'm about to smoke this little tummy. Oh, dude, I thought he threw it.
Oh.
Just boink me right on camera. Okay. Okay. That was an unfortunate word to use.
What kind of shoes are those?
Dude, these are I got some new little Vans.
Yeah.
Ow! Some new Vans.
Are those the ones that like are basically, you know, like what a love sack is, right? One of those like kind of mattress things.
Why does everything starting to sound okay? Yes, I know.
It's like those like the skater shoes when we were in junior high, where they look like they're always loose, but you're just putting your foot into a pillow. You know what I'm talking about? I know you know exactly. It's like they always look like they're going to slip off, but you look down and it's like 4 inches of Tempur-Pedic foam in those shoes. It's like Etnies, you know?
Yeah, it's just skate shoes.
Like you didn't skate, you lived at, like there's goat heads everywhere. You didn't even have concrete.
Yeah, they're just skate shoes, but I agree. They're
those that?
They're
That
like
was
wearing a boat. Yeah, yeah. These have the padding and
You
everything.
can tell from the inside.
Dude, that's what they're good to shoe in.
Oh.
You know?
Oh. Really?
Skate shoes? Hell yeah. You got a good horseshoer if you wear skate shoes.
I shoed in those like Twisted X like wallabies, you know what I mean? You know
Wallabies?
Yeah, they're like
A wallaby?
wallaby. Oh, they're like fucking driving shoes, you know. You can get from
Whoa.
here to Melbourne down to New South Wales and I don't know, maybe like a fucking minute or two.
Oh no, Ross.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm a little road rash brain though, too.
Dude,
I'm gonna try to
hold
kind of calm
on.
it down.
Can you do the whole pod? Can you do the whole pod with that accent?
Probably could.
Dude, I don't even know if there was little like words in between that you just absolutely nailed. It wasn't even the big words. You know, like I would be trying to get to aluminium or like down under.
No.
You know, but like all the words leading up would just not be.
So I always had the Australian, but I never had the British. And I was driving for like 6 hours one time and like kind of figured out how to jailbreak the British accent. So you start with like you start with like the oh hello puppet, you know, and like you do that whole thing where it's like hold on, what's like the real like Cockney accent? It's like a yeah, oh, he's right there in the fucking alley, you know, and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
But then you just smooth it out and push it to like the front of your mouth and keep it a little bouncy.
We're talking about an accent, right?
An accent,
Okay.
yeah. It's because it's all like, it's just all, you know, muscle and feel and whatever. I was trying to think of my like process of like what I was saying to get there though. And I can't remember because now I'm just defaulting back to
Are
Australian.
accents impressive?
I think they're so impressive.
I think so. I don't. Some people act like it's not that big of a deal. I find them.
I think it's a huge deal. Not a huge deal.
to be
But I think it's
to be able to do them is insane to me. At that level, dude, your Aussie one just dumbfounded me.
I need to get back into my British one though. I need like a sentence, you know, that's like a real like kind of Cockney sounding sentence.
This word,
huh?
This word Cockney.
Yeah, it's a
I'm struggling.
It's
with
like
it.
a trash person style of speaking in
England.
In England, yeah. It'd be kind of like their version of a redneck accent.
Really?
Yeah, but it's hold on, let me figure out a good like I need to hear you got a good British accent?
No.
Fuck.
The only thing I can ever go is like the Tom Hardy thing.
Oh, okay. So I remembered how to do it. So it's like it was like oh, it's down on the bridge I was. And so you kind of do that thing, but then you lighten it up and keep it bouncy. So you go down from the bridge I was, and then it softens up a little bit and bounces on the tip of your tongue. And all of a sudden you studied at Oxford and you have many leather-bound books.
Dude, go back to the other one.
And then you go back to the docks. and I work for you, governor. It's like that.
Dude, the idea. Of
But
where are you originally from?
Lubbock.
You are from Lubbock?
Yeah.
Like around Lubbock?
Yeah, I mean
You're from Lubbock?
Well, south of town.
Is that technically West Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything west of Abilene is West Texas. Are we going?
Yeah, but not where?
Are we start? Has this started?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Really?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit! I thought we were gonna get like a go.
No, dude.
I don't
we
want
just
Come
roll.
on, man.
I know it's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't. Come on.
Look at him clam up now. I did governor.
Yeah. Please no. Please none of that can make it. I'd be so embarrassed.
Why? No, I was gonna say I think it's so funny that you're doing that accent, like all these accents,
Yeah.
and such a wild character, and then you're like legit cowboy, West Texas cowboy, wearing that hat, doing that whole thing is like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. All right. Can we officially start?
I do
so
think
I know I can turn it on, turn it off.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's not how I roll.
Okay.
You're either on or I don't want to talk to you.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's like either the real person or not.
Well, I am that. But I am also a person. I've got 6 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours and just drove for 12 straight. So
Really?
I should probably, you know what I mean? I need to
Lock it up.
I need to kind of like reel a little bit in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you should reel it out. I think you should let the slack out and just turn her loose. Tell El Capitan in whatever crazy accent you want. You say, hey, go for it.
When we do
Why have you only had 6 hours of sleep?
The night before last, I was like thinking about everything I needed to get done. And so I was stressing about it. And then I slept for like 2 hours and I had stress dreams for 2 hours. And then last night, I had dreams that I was having to weld a bunch of stuff. I don't weld. Like at all. I never have been a good welder. And I had a dream 4 hours last night of nothing but welding dreams.
Interesting. I'm glad you're having dreams.
Very stressful dreams.
I don't really have dreams.
How do you not have dreams?
Sometimes, but they're only like really early morning. Well, how would I even say that? I guess it's not that early. Late morning?
Well,
kind of.
Then that's when you're in your REM cycle. That's when
Finally.
you're like in your heaviest sleep.
I know. It drives me nuts. But they're like those 5, 6 a.m., probably 6 a.m. I finally get to like have a dream.
Yeah. I dream
Sometimes.
basically all night.
That's crazy.
Vivid dreams.
Do you get to remember them? Hey, booger.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah. Most, like 75% of them I remember for sure.
Forever. Like you don't forget them at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, eventually I do. I think you have like
that was a dumb question.
You have like a subconscious kind of like decipher, or like you have to. Something has to decide what you allow in and out of the filing cabinet.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. No.
I'm probably not going to store the welding dream up there if I can help it.
Sure. No, I appreciate you not pounding me into salt for asking a stupid question.
No, I don't think it's a stupid question. I think that's a good question. But
no, well, I have to really make it a point to remember them. Like, and 20 minutes after I wake up.
Do you write them down?
Well, that's what at times I've kind of done that.
Do you have a dream journal? And hold on. You have a dream journal of your dreams and then another dream journal of your aspirations?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it starts to get confusing.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I want to do this. This is a dream, but this is what I dreamed about.
Yeah. Well, the really scary thing is my wife read both of them at one point, and and I made her guess which one was which, and she didn't know.
like you want to be a lizard man?
It's your dream journal.
This is
right?
your dream. Oh, that's the one.
No,
that's a 5-year plan situation.
Yeah, she didn't know. Oddly enough, I didn't know either. I couldn't tell her which one was the difference.
I only wrote down one. This is one that I had a long time ago. That it was terrifying because it felt so real, and I wrote it down because it was so crazy. I dreamed that I was in the forest, and there was I made friends with these deer. They could talk, all of them. I'm not lying to you right now.
But you had no. It's a dream. Like I don't.
No, it didn't happen. I mean,
well, right.
It's not something.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
it didn't happen, but
that would be something else.
Yeah.
You guys met Ross Cooper? He's super cool, but
he thinks he could talk to deer.
No, but he lied about his dream. I mean, He made up a story that he dreamed.
So, so in this dream, there's like a herd of deer, and they could all talk English, which was a little surprising. But we were like in the brush at the edge of this forest, and they're like telling me to be quiet, and so we're like kind of. I don't know. I was crouched down crawling, and I don't think I've never seen a deer crouch and crawl, so I doubt they were doing that. But then we come up to the top of this hill, and I look down, and it's just like hundreds of crows. And these crows are like, I guess, a murder of crows. These crows are like villains, and it's so obvious that they're villains. And the only thing I know in this dream at this point is that they're plotting on. They're like plotting up. They're trying to catch me, and they don't know where I am. And I just know that they can't catch me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wrote that one. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was in like a cold sweat, and was like, I need to write this down.
Do you do the waking up, writing a song thing? No. Melodies? You ever done that?
So I dream songs a bunch, but I always will wake up and be like, I need to write that down. And I'm so tired in the moment. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to forget that. And then I wake up like in the morning. I'm like, I forgot that.
So you won't write them down or anything?
I don't write them down.
Or do a little voice recorder?
I should. And I've dreamed songs for years. For years I've dreamed. I'll dream like a melody or dream that like at least have a little bit of lucidity in the dream of being like, oh, I'm dreaming, this is a song, this is really cool. I'm gonna remember this. And then I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, that was really cool. I need to write this down. I don't write it down. Dude,
what I was gonna tell you off camera, but I wanted to wait till on camera.
Are we really started right now?
Yeah, man.
Are we really started?
Yeah, I have to keep cutting that out now every time you ask.
Well, I don't, you know.
Have you never? I guess.
Yeah, just don't make me look like an idiot.
I guess I didn't really. I didn't really give you much info.
Yeah, I didn't know how you started though.
Yeah, but like I was gonna read off your biography right in front of you.
Staring you in the eyes.
Yeah, he should put out his 4th album.
You should have plugged it into ChatGPT just to see what it would say.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, I deleted it.
I'm terrified.
Well,
it's ruining the human experience.
Isn't you could make the case that your experience with it is part of the human experience.
Okay, that's pretty meta.
Yeah.
But then
that part of our human experience is wondering if AI is gonna, I don't know, and like jump into your toaster and become sentient. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're like it's like a mirror of us.
Yeah. Black Mirror, man.
It terrifies me. Yeah. The whole idea, everything, like the human experience, especially art, is self-expression. And the actual value of it is the work you put in to make it happen.
Yeah.
And then to just, like, now I'm getting demos from people that are AI now.
Yeah, see, that's stupid.
What is the point of writing a song if you didn't write it? You didn't write it. What is the point of it? Even if it sounds good.
I feel like this,
so weird.
It's come up a lot here lately. And it's either you're on one side of the fence or the other. I'm on the other side of the fence. I don't want to, for that type of stuff. Like I use it in place of like Google, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll never like put it into like an app and say, or put a song into an app and say, build me a demo using these.
It's
lyrics.
A bizarre thing to do.
It's a bizarre thing.
What is the point of doing the art form at all if it's not for doing it?
I guess like probably the argument for it, maybe on the publishing side, is if you and I write a song and we think it's really good, and then we need to do a demo of it, and we can just plug it into an app instead of like actually going.
That's assuming that you have the melody done and everything.
Yeah, I don't know how those work. I think that you can, like, I don't know how it works. I have no idea.
Because I'm getting demos from people that I don't think they're writing the melody either.
Probably not. They're just
what? That's not songwriting.
No.
It's so bizarre.
I agree.
So then at that point, it's only for attention. right?
I don't know. I don't.
Because there's no being a painter. Part of the being a painter is
Yeah,
actually
so-
doing the painting, not just showing it.
I know it seems like I'm advocating for it, which is the absolute opposite. I don't think it's. I think we need to get away from it. I think the thing that makes art and music special is the subjectivity. You know, like of you are creating you're creating something that came from your human experience, right? So I think in maybe songwriting publishing world, I know that there's people that will build demos with it, use an app, and I don't know if you can like send a voice memo into it to where it picks up the melody. I don't know how that works.
I think you can.
Okay, so I know that people use it to build demos, and the only reason I could see it being like trying to like figure out how to word it so it doesn't seem like I'm saying, yeah, use it, because I don't think you should. But
People are already using it.
yeah, you're not,
And they're using it to write lyrics too.
which is way shittier, you know. But I think probably the only advantage that I could see, and I'm not going to do it, but of somebody using it in songwriting or publishing is if you have a pub deal and you have a really good song, you have a voice memo, plug it in there, get a full demo of it, and then you're not having to spend the time or money creating a demo.
But it's wild to think that some studio musicians, some of the best musicians in the world, are just going to copy that demo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, and that's the
I've
thing too.
already, I think the whole demo thing, songwriters demoing, and then you take that demo into the studio, and you get some of the best musicians in the world that then just copy the demo that a bunch of songwriters made.
Yeah, and just
like even if
make it a little more
they
polished.
played those parts and stuff, it's
Yeah.
still a weird process in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I just fundamentally disagree with that process,
mhm.
much less using AI for it.
Yeah, well, and there kind of lies part of the argument too, or not the argument, but part of the point of if you already fundamentally disagree with the process, then you're not going to be all of a sudden convinced with something that is like so inhuman. You know what I mean? It's like you're already like, I don't really like this part of it, and then now all of a sudden a computer's going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, if you're a staff writer and you have to write this however many songs, whatever, and they expect this many demos, like I guess I get it, but I'm not. I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't think
I understand it.
I can understand it. I can understand.
That's why
it
it scares me, is because
Yeah.
it makes so much sense for somebody that isn't actually in it for the process.
Right. And in the world of like kind of that demo land too, it's like, you know, most of the time it feels like to make a good pitch, it's you have to kind of spell it out, you know, for the pluggers, pitchers, etc. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it really scares me. I'm on the train of like, we need to find some program that can identify if people used AI in the making of some sort of art.
I'm sure that there's something like
we need
that.
organic, certified, pesticide-free music, you know?
Yeah.
Like there needs to be labeling.
That should be your next
non-GMO music, you know?
That should be your next like merch line.
Yeah. Well, I have a little nutrition fact shirt that I'm doing because of
Perfect.
it, where it's just like no auto tune, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the only way to separate yourself now more than ever is like the human experience is imperfection. I even hate using the word imperfection.
Yeah, the human experience is the flubs are human.
The only reason a compliment feels good is because there's an option that somebody could insult you.
God. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
If you had no choice to be mean, being nice wouldn't be that meaningful.
If you let that creep in and fester, that becomes such a like an ego death. You know, anytime you get a compliment, you're like, thank you for not saying the insult that you could have said.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, the point is just the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have good without evil kind of thing.
All right.
So the imperfections, like, that's the human experience.
Do you feel like
the perfect note? Like, what's the perfect? Like, what do you mean? Like the perfect pitch? Like, not to mention when you're like recording instruments in an acoustic environment, there's little tuning things, there's little rubs happening in the real world.
The dissonance, I think, kind of can inspire the emotion just as much as the right note.
Definitely,
you know,
it's humans doing it.
There's also there's that fine line too, and I'm so guilty of it. Like when I'm in the studio, if I know that I can sing something and hit it, and it's not like I'm like, riff-a-palooza over here. And,
Yeah.
but if there's a run or something that I know that sounds good, that I know that I can sing, whatever, if I'm having a hard time getting it and I know I can get it, I'm going to keep going until I get it. But if we're talking about a word or something or a phrase sounding just a little kind of like, like interesting, where it's like technically it could be a little bit more quote unquote perfect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a spot where more times than not I want to leave it, because I do think that
It's the only way to separate you from a
the
computer.
machines.
Yeah.
And like this live record is the scariest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's so scary because I do anything that's acoustic, I do at the house, and I'll build demos, and like I have the control over that. I'm just enough type A to like not release 75% of the stuff that I record.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it has to hit some standard that only I've like put into place. It's so stupid
You're
that
super
nobody
harsh
nobody
critic
would
of
care.
yourself,
Yo,
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 And so are you. You know what I mean? But
I'm not.
no, you are. But the live record was like we didn't do it over 2 days. We did it over one night, and we only recut 2 songs at the end of the whole thing because it was like this. Just let the night kind of be the night, and it was it's still, there's days where, first of all, any artist that says they don't listen to their own like album after they get it back is so full of shit. That's
After
like
they get it back?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, of course you do. Maybe
or
not
or doesn't listen to it. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
like jamming it down the road,
Yeah.
but like because it's I guess when this comes out, the album will be out, But so before the album has come out, like you do that thing where you're like, go back and listen to it, and you're like, am I right on this? Is this good? I don't know. It's not for you to decide.
Oh, the second guessing is crazy.
And it's that's just kind of part of the job of like, you don't get to decide whether or not people like it. The only thing you get to decide is what songs you want to put on it.
Yeah, if you
know,
liked it in the moment.
and how much energy that you can put
I
into
do think
it.
you can come back to it often before you release it, like during the mixing process. And you can get a lot of first listens with just like a clean palette.
Mm-hmm.
That's been really, really important for me. But that's a time thing too. Like early on, my first 2 records, I didn't have the time or the budget to be able to sit with it for long enough.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of years, I've had more time to sit with stuff. So I can come back and just be like, oh, okay, well, let's change this.
Yeah.
Which has been helpful.
Yeah.
But they're not like insane changes. That's
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not like, scrap it, let's freaking.
I think that comes with age too.
It'll just sometimes be like, oh, why do we have the vocals sitting right there?
Yeah.
Why don't we just make them a little roomier?
Right.
And then sometimes it's just like the clear choice. Even though when last time you sat down to mix it, you spent 4 hours, you just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you come back and in 5 minutes, you're like,
oh, I have 4 compressors on this vocal.
yeah.
Sounds like it's in a can. I wonder why.
I'm in the same boat with like trying to pull myself like off, let the reins go a little bit with some of because I like things to be perfect. And then I grew up in a time too that a lot of the music, we hadn't heard perfect music before.
Yeah.
And then I grew up at a time that, similar to you, that music became perfect for the first time.
What would be a good example, do you think?
Like synthetic, hyper processed.
Yeah.
Like rock music, pop music,
sure.
everything.
Yeah.
Because of
the best of the best.
The introduction of like computers, basically.
Yeah.
And then music could become perfect.
Okay, I think that's fair.
So we heard a lot of perfect music, perfectly tuned.
I think that's like.
And to a certain degree, some of our ears, I think, got used to that in a way. And then like, it's like stepping back and being like,
there is kind of that like sonic palette, that to me, what you're talking about is kind of those junior high MTV days of when pop punk was such a thing. It was like, and I never got super huge into it, but that was what was so big.
Yeah, but
And-
make no mistake, even like the stuff in country music,
Oh,
George
1000%.
Strait and all that stuff in the 2000s,
Yeah.
like with modern recording, all of that stuff was pretty heavily tuned, and there was
Yeah.
some slick processing that went on.
Yeah, there's
along
kind
that
of
stuff.
that's I know what you're. It's kind of all a sound, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like you can kind of hear that stuff. To me, that's early mid 2000s.
Yeah,
where it's just really slick.
and then you had a band like so after 2010, you had Mumford and Sons and Lumineers and stuff. Bon Iver that like did this roomy like whole like super raw thing, and everybody went whoa.
So I think that's just how far the pendulum swings. So when you have something that's super slick sounding, whatever, then the pendulum has to swing hard the other way. So you have this rootsy, stringy Mumford, Avett Brothers, Lumineers, etc. And then I don't know what was big after that, but I would be willing to bet anything that the pendulum swung back hard the other way, and it was probably going to be. It was fuzzy. It was fuzzy guitars, and like when like the fuzzed out guitar thing was
Black Keysy.
Black. Everything came after Black Keys.
Yeah.
Like there was a handful of those bands, and it just swings back and forth and back and forth. And I feel like,
Well, then it got pretty processed and went into the 80s thing. If we're talking pop music.
oh, totally, yeah.
Pop.
But
Also, I have a theory too. Go ahead with what you're about to say.
so now, like we're in, country music feels, I guess, neo-traditionalist is probably the best way that you could put it now. Where it's definitely more traditional than it has been in years past. Where I'm wondering how far the pendulum is going to swing back the other way when people get tired of the cowboy thing. You know what I mean? Like, what's next in country? Is it going to be here to stay? Like, obviously, some of that stuff is always going to be cool. But as far as big music, is there going to be? I don't know. It's hard to say that a guy with an acoustic guitar is going to continue to sell out stadiums. Is that going to happen, or is country going to move into this world where it's going to be a guy with a computer? I don't know. I'm trying to just, you can't, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, my theory on the AI thing is I think it's going to get so advanced that, look, if any person can just plug in a random thought into an AI program, it's going to spit out a fully written song, melody, arrangement, full recording.
Yeah.
In like 5 minutes. If anybody's going to be able to do that, I think people are going to start walking around with the soundtracks of their own making.
So
there's going to always be a segment of people that I think want to interact with like real music from
I
real
agree
artists.
more with that. I think that there's, especially, I think it is part of the job for us to just always kind of like talk shit on the generation that's younger than us. But I think one thing that they've got right is they really do kind of attach, and they root, they fan out hard for these different artists and whatnot. And I think that they can kind of smell BS from a mile away. So,
I think so too.
Like, I think right now, I don't disagree that. I think there will be a time where it's going to be like, a 14-year-old version of Jarrod comes home and had a bad day. And it's like, you just go boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
And it makes a song for you based on what you put. Like, you know what I mean?
I think I saw a Tesla. I think it was a Tesla that has a program that will create the music. It's all like EDM type dance club music.
Because that's what you need to do.
But it'll make it in real time, and it'll change depending on how you're driving. So tempos, and it'll do drops, and like when you take off, the drop will happen, and the beat kicks in, and you can like specify what style you want it to do.
That's so lame.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's so lame.
Well, yeah, the whole point of all of it is it's kind of lame. It depends on what it's used for, but the idea of passing off music as like artistry and like somebody, like art is self-expression. That's the point of it. Like this thing is not expressing itself. So like people consuming it in that way is really bizarre to me. Yeah. But the time will tell if people are able to consume it. But the problem is if they're not gonna be able to tell the difference.
Well, right.
That's what's just depressing more than anything. I'm not even like mad about it, because if it's probably going to get to a point that it's good enough and you won't be able to tell the difference. And I'm pretty positive there's already songwriters that are really big that are using AI to generate lyrics. And
you think so?
And
You're probably right. Yeah. I don't know. And to be clear, it's not such a attack on EDM. If a Tesla was writing country songs like
Yeah.
that, or folk songs, in fact, that's stupid.
Well, and
too.
right now you can tell the difference.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can
sure.
100%.
But-
lyrically, though, that's where it starts to get a little dicey.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's definitely lyrics that those programs are just not. There's very niche, like specific, detail-oriented songwriting
yeah,
that it can't do yet.
right.
And that is the stuff that I'm gravitating towards. And that's why I like people that are doing that type of stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? 'Cause
Yeah.
this like generic, it can be for everybody. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, it just sounds like this. It sounds generic.
So like, I guess what happens when you tell it to read On the Road by Kerouac, and it's like, write me, a 60s folk inspired record.
Yeah, in the style of.
And inspired by
It's terrifying.
Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg. And like, then you pick I don't know.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer, but I don't think I don't know until it's here, I
live
don't really,
performance. That's where live performance comes in.
see. I think that's where it'll fall flat, and that's what I was saying earlier about like the youths of America now. That I just don't see them rooting for something that's not real like that. And how does that work too? So it's like, let's say that you build this this AI hologram, and 10,000 people are going to show up to see a AI hologram, and they're all listening to this AI hologram's hit on spot. Like, I think if that's the world that we get into, that the stronger argument that it's going to be more narrowly tailored for each listener.
So at the time, it was cool because it hadn't been done before.
Are you about to talk about gorillas?
100%.
Yeah, but there was people behind it, and they used it
know.
as a mask. And the gorillas are awesome. And it wasn't made by a computer. It wasn't made by a
I know.
computer. They made those avatars themselves.
But it was like animated type stuff. I agree that it was, but the idea of it not being, we knew it was a real person behind it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the only difference is like.
Well, because there's somebody behind it. I'm sorry. I'm interrupted.
No, go for it, dude.
I think because there's somebody behind it that adds to the mystique of it. Like why care if not?
Agreed. But what about? But clearly, we don't have to see a real person doing it.
I think part of the mystique or a big part of the popularity for gorillas was there was a mystique because there's somebody behind it, and it's like, who is this person? And are we ever going to see this person?
But now where the line gets blurred, where it's like we clearly don't have to see a person doing it or performing it.
Yeah, but there's nobody.
But then if we don't know,
there's nobody to root for, though.
No, I know that's where it starts to get so confusing for everybody. We don't know we don't know who's real and who's not.
I'll tell you, I think it's as easy as this. Like if your best buddy's favorite band is some new fake AI band, just don't hang out with that dude anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It ain't for me. And I like the stuff that's human and dirty and bad and good. You know what I mean? I like all parts of it.
I think that's the only way that the people can end up separating themselves from it.
Yeah.
It's like
how many times have you talked about AI on this podcast?
Not much at all.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I feel like
maybe a little bit. Maybe in the last few episodes we talked about maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But not.
I feel like
really.
the conversation's come up a lot in the last like month or two.
Yeah.
That I've just kind of seen.
Yeah, it's kind of starting to come to a fever pitch.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of big podcasts too that have started to talk about it more.
Yeah.
I think some people are starting to get a little bit more worried. Even the people that have developed it are like,
yeah. What's the kill switch on it? A wall outlet. Just unplug it.
Isn't it ironic though that some of the
stupid
stuff that was considered maybe like stuff like manual labor, things that traditionally maybe didn't make the most money, are some of the things that will be taken over last by robots and computers?
I mean, it's things that are most, for sure.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's like it's the most human stuff that, I mean.
It's like kind of the most archaic stuff is the stuff that goes last. Yet that was the stuff that was replaced first.
Yeah, I mean.
In ways. So like, or like the people that made the most money traditionally, or at least in the American experience, like the white collar jobs and stuff, those are the first ones that are going to go away. But yet the welder or the horseshoer or the horse trainer or like those people, like that's a long ways off for a robot doing that.
There's kind of a dark, cynical joke built into that. You know, so the world needs ditch diggers, and even the robots are like, we're not doing that. The world needs horseshoers, dude. Yeah, we're not doing that. That looks like it sucks.
When they can start to feel, they're like, no,
this is horrible.
But hold on, bro. Accounting, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Be an accountant?
Yeah.
Forget that.
Yeah.
Once they get
Did you do your taxes this year?
Excuse me? How much did you make net of expenses? How much did you make last year? Dude, that's so funny.
How much money did you make before taxes? Go.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I will absolutely not talk about taxes at all on a podcast. Dude, the only thing that scares me more than AI is the IRS.
Yeah.
Both acronyms. Not acronyms, but abbreviations. I felt the hammer coming in your eyes right there when I said acronym. I was like, he's about to bury me. I had to.
You just were not ready for that question. Maybe for the sake of your popularity and growth, we don't talk about doing taxes because that's what people. That's really what.
That's why they come here.
That's why they come here. Exactly.
Talk about taxes.
Yeah.
No, it's mainly so the IRS can't be like, wait, you did what here? Huh? This? What? Yeah. I'm not talking about any tax secrets. Hey, so what I was going to originally say was Lightning Heart.
Yeah.
That record, I just listened to it on the drive. I had heard a couple songs off of it, but I hadn't like actually listened to the whole record, like from front to back.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable.
And
the first song, Lightning Heart.
Yeah.
The lyrics where you're like, you're living, you're dying.
All this living can feel like dying when your heart's fighting a lightning heart. So I have a heart.
But even the way you say it, like all this living can feel like dying when you're fighting this lightning heart. You know what I mean? Like, but the cadence of it.
Thank you. I don't know. I love that. I like. You love every record you put out, otherwise you wouldn't put it out. But I love that record, and nothing happened with it. And
that was shocking listening through it, and it had a bunch of different sounds too. But it didn't. It sounded cohesive too, though.
I tried really hard because I feel like there's been times where I have like not thrown spaghetti. I've never been a throw spaghetti at the wall. I just like you. We've talked about this a lot. I like different things, and I want a record to reflect where I am. Then it be a record of where I am, and with that, sometimes it can be. I'm pretty scatterbrained, obviously, but I've had records that sound really scatterbrained, and I think that that's great. I love listening to records like that. Like truly, I love those records. But I wanted to try to at least not stifle it, but at least just kind of have something to shoot at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like shooting with the rifle or shooting with the shotgun. You can still hit a target with both. You just might be a little bit more scattered with one.
Yeah. It had a really, really unique sound to it, and you can't really put your finger exactly on it. Everything always does have a pretty Southwestern thing with you, which I can really, really appreciate. I don't think that stuff gets out there quite enough. I would be curious about if you do you like Chris Isaac?
I love Chris.
Okay.
Isaac. The Baja Sessions record is one of my favorite records of all time.
Yeah, we could definitely.
I want to make that record.
So I was curious, and like that. Yeah, listening through a lot of your stuff over the years, I'm like, I think we have a ton of similar influences. And what about T-Bone Burnett, the producer?
I like his produced stuff a little bit more than I like his artist stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, just the stuff he produces.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember which song there was, but of yours, but there was a drum thing that I was like, oh, that's very. And T-Bone Burnett,
maybe Blue Stem,
maybe.
It's kind of a broken beat
Yeah.
where it felt like you expected a train beat.
Yeah, you're one of the rare songwriter types that is heavily in tune with production and the actual cutting of a record and how that's put together and the arrangement, chord progressions. There was, man, I just really like that record.
Thank you.
There's multiple ones.
I know I'm kind of clamming up. My wife says I need to learn how to take a compliment, so I'll just say thank you.
No, yeah.
Instead of being like, well, you should have listened to song 5. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But I got a text.
But
it's
I
weird,
think you
though.
downplay too, like your ability, like for chord progressions and that type of thing. Like they're fresh. They're definitely fresh.
I remember the first time. Thank you. I mean, weird though, very weird. I got a text message today, and I'll tell you later who from. But I got a text message today. No kidding. That it was a screenshot of a song off that record, and it said, "Dude, this is the first time I've really listened to this record all the way through, and it's awesome."
Oh wow, that's
It's
weird.
same, and it was today.
That's
and
weird.
Yeah,
I just listened to the whole thing today.
and it wasn't from you.
How odd.
It's very odd, but thank you.
I told
really,
them to text
it really
you.
does.
I was like, hey man, go.
Russ,
I was like, go
Russ
text him.
needs
He
this
really
right
needs
now.
a boost.
He's
He's
in
about
the
to do the
spot.
podcast today.
Yeah.
Boost his ego.
I mean, thank you. And with the progressions, I remember the first time I heard, it was the Satellite Rides record from Old 97s. And I was like, holy shit. Because there's a lot where it's like, if you listen to this same type of thing, whatever. If you're listening to the same stuff you always listen to, and then all of a sudden, you hear this stuff that's kind of country centric, but it's not really, and it's kind of rock and roll, and it's kind of punk and whatever, and then all of a sudden you think you know where the song's going. It's like, whoa, they went to the, I don't know, 3 major instead of like 6 minor. And you're like, what? Not that that's like a huge thing, but it is kind of. And I ended up just loving Old 97s because a lot of those types of songs of how just kind of their treatment on country songs. I think they're still a country band. They can put out like the coolest rock and roll songs that exist, period, bar none. Like, go listen to the song Victoria if you don't believe me. But they're such a great band that can kind of do it all. But I never, ever get bored with their songs. And I think early on, I was like, okay, what are they doing? How can, what do can I do that? Like, what would, you start off with 3 chords and crappy songs, or at least I did. You start out 12 years old, 13 years old, however old, you learn G, C, and D, and you put your crappy songs to it, and you hope that they get better. And some of the best songs that have ever been written are 3-chord songs. But anyway, I guess all that to say is I really like listening to that type of stuff. And part of it, I want to make stuff that I really like, that I'm really proud of. Because there's been times where, probably when I was younger, I put out stuff where I was like, I probably, if I was being honest with myself, I didn't love it. I just thought I didn't know. And now I think that's kind of the sacrifice sometimes of just being 1,000% yourself, and being uniquely you also means knowing that maybe nobody cares. Maybe nobody cares, but that's not for you to decide. I think either way, if you put out whatever's honest and unique to yourself, if nothing happens, you can still sleep at night. And I'm overthinking it too. I promise you, there's some friends of ours that have like huge kick-ass buses and great livings, and they're not thinking about it. They don't
think about any of it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, poking around in my 15, 20-year-old truck. And I'm like, you know what? I am proud of this shit.
I know there is a simplicity. The overthinking it, I don't think it's overthinking. I think the thinking too much about it can get in the way of timing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think some guys that really take a super simple approach to a lot of it, and they don't really think much about any of it, their timing is typically really great, because I've noticed they tend to emulate some sounds some popular sounds of what's happening like right in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, that's working. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really think much about it. And yeah, that works because it's popular right now.
Sure.
Those sounds are popular. And so they tend to like go with some trends because they don't have this overarching, like, it's almost like they don't have this dark cloud of like, well, you got to do something different. You got to do something authentic. You got to do something fresh. Some people I've been around don't have that. And they're like, well, I don't know. That seems to work. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And then they might have success
Sure.
in the way of popularity and stuff. But in terms of longevity or maybe at some point even fulfillment, I'd see that they tend to lack both of those at times.
Well,
Sometimes. And some guys are able to like have great timing and maybe even follow trends, but do it in a super unique, authentic way.
sure. Well, and then I think at some level too, depending on how big the following is, it's kind of one of those things is it, you know, art informing the culture, culture informing the art, you know? Also, we're kind of in this era where everything's a little bit more bespoke and kind of ready to go. Like usually by the time, I agree with your point. First of all,
What does bespoke mean?
custom made, ready to order, like not ready to order, custom made, custom tailored for that. So like, if I hear a Zach Bryan song, a huge song, whatever whatever the song is, and I'm like, just for an analogy, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go write something that sounds like that. Used to, by the time it came out, you're already too late. But now, because the ease of releasing music,
You can do it.
you could do it. You could do it. And I think that's probably, and I hope not to go down this rabbit hole because it is one that I'd love to stay away from. But I think that's why TikTok is such a thing, because you want to talk about bespoke and things being tailored. Go look at your feed.
Or trends.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's also
is.
our feed is going to look probably pretty different, depending, because your algorithm is going to give you exactly what it knows that you've been liking for the last however many weeks.
I think there's a segment of people that really are trying to search for some stuff that is fresh sounding.
Yeah.
And they're struggling to do it. I struggle to find new stuff that I really love. Like even on Spotify and in their what they present to me, it's a lot of stuff that I've just already heard before.
Yeah. Well, so what? 30,000 songs get released every day, and then 100,000
it's
songs
far
get
more than
released on
that.
Fridays.
Yeah.
I think that was the number the last
Yeah.
time that I heard those numbers. Somebody fact check me. I'm sure I'm talking out of my ass, but it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people releasing music.
Yeah.
So how do you find it? Like I found this song the other day on the release radar. This is where it like got it right on Spotify. And I was like, holy crap, like this song is awesome. Never heard it before, never heard the artist before. They have like 1,000 monthly listeners. I was like, this is great. It was that's when it works, where it's like, this is cool. I would have never heard about this person had it not been for this release radar playlist. That's when it works. But the big playlists, I say this a little, admittedly a little jaded because I don't get on those huge playlists, but some of them can kind of be an echo chamber a little bit. It's like, of course, it's going to have all the, especially in our kind of line of work, the country, Americana, folk, alternative side. It's going to be kind of a lot of the same names because you almost can't afford to not have them on there, and you only have, if you're a playlist curator, you only have so much room on that sucker.
Yeah, it's fascinating to hear some of the kind of self-appointed like trendsetter type music critic people, because that started to pop up more on social media. I'm not opposed to it. Anybody's a critic, really.
Yeah.
It's funny to see a lot of them act like their music opinions and their musical taste is so eclectic and just so fine-tuned. And all they're saying is like, man, Turnpike's underrated. And I'm like, underrated?
They're like the biggest.
They're huge.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're
They're like,
one of
I
the biggest
think these guys
bands in the world.
or like just pick them. And I love Turnpike.
Yeah.
it's just funny. Like I could probably say that to those guys and they'd be like, I know, isn't that kind of goofy? But there's just massive bands that like it's an echo chamber thing because part of getting attention for if you're like a music reviewer type person, part of getting attention is using popular bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
That's going to get
you have to draw.
It's kind of baked into the cake. Like you're not gonna.
Yeah.
But
which is fun. What would you say is like the
and that's not even I'm not even coming from a bitter standpoint because I've been on
I hear you.
I've been on the positive end of that too.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
So it's not like a bitter thing.
I accidentally on the Lightning Heart record like landed one of those huge pop ones, and I think somebody just fouled up. And because it was only on there for like 2 days, but it just
funny.
in like 2 days. Yeah. I mean, it didn't go crazy, but it went like, whoa, hey, what's going on here? What do you think's like, in your mind, the most kind of off the wall thing that you're either listening to now or kind of an old standard? You know what I mean? Like it could be
what's something that's off the wall that I'm listening to now,
or because I find myself listening to the kind of the same stuff a lot, or I'll listen to my friends, But
I have these guys named Dope Melon or Dope Lemon.
Dope Lemon,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
but it's kind of like instrumental, quasi instrumental.
Yeah.
I just get so much into production and stuff that like a lot of stuff I start listening to is instrumental stuff.
Yeah.
But
you listen to like
Dope
Hermanos
Lemon
Gutierrez?
is one. Yeah.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, that's really good. And also, who's the lead singer for the Black Keys? What's his name? Not Patrick Carney. Dan Auerbach. I think he produced all their stuff.
Oh,
I think
cool.
he's signed. I think they're signed to his label actually.
Gotcha. He was one of the first people I saw when I moved to Nashville.
But I would say the old stuff that I've gotten into more. What did you just say? He's the first guy that
he was one of the first people I saw when I moved to Nashville. My sweet mother took me to Nashville right after college to see. I was going to move somewhere, and I'd been making trips to Austin a lot. My brother lived there at the time, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So took a trip to Nashville. We didn't know anybody. Like I didn't know anybody. And so like my mom took me down Broadway because we thought that's like what you did. And it was horrible. Hated it. I like 13 years ago, I still live there. I can't believe I ever moved there because of that. How, my mom was like doing the sweet mom thing, like trying to make this trip awesome. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to move here. Anyway, but we ended up in Roberts on Broadway, which is still one of my favorite bars of all time. And it was early in the week, probably a Tuesday night. And I don't remember who was playing, but Roberts is always just awesome. It's always slamming. And then I saw Dan Auerbach at the bar, and I was like, "Hey man, are you Dan?" He's like, "Yeah, man." It's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. Just keep doing what you're doing," or whatever, And then I was like, "Oh," and at that point, like the Black Keys were huge, and this dude's just drinking a beer at the bar at Roberts, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm missing something. I'm not seeing something."
Then you walked up to him and you were like,
"Hello." Please cut that
See,
out.
now we can't cut that out.
Yeah, you
because
have
if
to.
we cut it out, there will be
Please.
no context for it.
No, can't do
See
it.
what I did there?
I saw.
Then we roped you into it.
I hate it. Please don't.
Now for continuity, has to be in there.
I'll just explain it. I'll explain how good my accents are, but please don't.
Ooh, that would be a good.
And how to do them.
Chest
How to do
move
them.
back.
That could be a better thing. A how-to
Rook,
instead of just me
Rook
coming
tonight.
in. I just feel like I was hoodwinked.
I think that's very bespoke of you.
Oh my gosh.
Still don't know what it means.
Could we get a Google on that just to make sure I'm not full of shit?
Chat GBT that.
Already deleted it.
AI it.
Already deleted it.
Let's write a song with it. We're not doing that. So, anyways, you met Dan Auerbach.
Yeah, but so at the end of that, I was just kind of like, if this guy, who I think is one of the coolest guys on the planet, is living in this town and hanging out at this bar, like I'm not seeing something that's going on here. And at the time, like these Andrew Combs records were big and Robert Ellis and all the stuff that was getting recorded there. And I just couldn't see it because I didn't know any better, you know. And then I remember we went to Third and Lindsley and the Time Jumpers had their residency. It's like, you're seeing Paul Franklin and Vince Gill play together, play swing music. It's like, okay, there's something cool going on here. So anyway, whatever. But one of my go-to records, I need to send it to you for like my it's not off the wall, but every song I still think is so interesting. The production I think you would love. I'll send it to you here in a little bit. But it's Devendra Banhart, and the record is Smokey Rolls Down Thunder Canyon. So you know who Devendra Banhart is? He was kind of like the indie folk guy, you know, of like the mid 2000s, early mid 2000s, like super hip, folky. That record, there's some songs in Portuguese and some songs in Spanish and some songs in English, and but really cool, really interesting. And that's one of those records I can still just put on and just let it roll. And there's not really a skip on it for me. And it doesn't, it's like one of those albums where you're like, man, I want to make a record like this, knowing that you never would. It's like, how do you make, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so, it's a kind of a bizarre album.
Do you get super hyper focused on certain styles of music if that's the style that you're maybe going for?
No, I get hyper fixated. I don't like that we're in like the self-diagnosis culture, you know? So I want to be really, I want to be really careful and not saying how like, you know, OCD I am about this or that. I don't think that I'm OCD. I think that I probably have compulsions for sure, but I get really obsessive over.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
wasn't
you needed
saying
that.
like
No, you needed this preface.
I wasn't saying that you.
No,
like
no,
had
no, no. Not over genre. I get.
You have a problem, Ross.
I get very obsessed over individual songs. You know, like you'll listen.
But do they always have something to do with the sounds that you're going for?
No, but they might inspire something that
Okay.
like I'm like, it's trying to capture whatever that mood is. It's like, is it because they're singing a melody over this like key change, like what are this chord progression, like what is the thing? Like it's like trying to figure out that magic, you know, like why a song. Everybody has that song or has those songs, and I'm so thankful when you hear them because it feels like because there's so much music. The new ones don't do that so much for you anymore because it's like we're in just kind of skip world. You know, if it doesn't do something to you in 20 seconds, skip. But, you know, you got those songs where you listen to them, and then if you're riding by yourself, you automatically restart it. Then you restart it again. Then you restart it again. And then all of a sudden it's like you've driven somewhere, you've driven back to your house, and you've listened to the same song 5 times because you want to get captured up in that moment of how that song makes you feel. And that to me is like, that's when a song is perfect. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do, and it's eliciting this emotional response to it. That's like the goal. 1,000%, that's the goal.
How do you think you keep like a fresh sound on chord progressions?
Shit, if I know, I don't.
Because
What are you
I
talking
can
about?
tell though, like through all of your music that you've put out, there's been like, I can almost see certain styles and certain approaches that you use on maybe a record, and then corresponding to that, some songs that you write with or for other people kind of coincide with that timeline, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. He was like in a world at that point of like this sort of vibe. I'm specifically thinking about Cowboys and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about, geez, how do I freaking forget that? The Will Green song.
Ringling Road.
Ringling Road.
Yeah. So
where and at that time when those came out, like what a fresh, like little progression thing. Had this spookiness and like.
So you want to talk about obsessive? You can't find these albums anymore. Well, you can find a couple of them, but there's a couple of albums where there's songs where I was you could tell that I was in deep on those minor chords, swingy, kind of spooky, gothy country things. I was like chasing that for so long. I did it. I have like 3 or 4 songs on a record called "Give It Time" that still exists, and before that, I had a song on an EP that kind of was like it was trying to chase the dragon or whatever that. I was so obsessed with like that minor chord swingy thing that I felt like it's like I couldn't like get it right or something. You know what I mean? It's like I loved the way those songs sounded. And then I feel like it kind of got to a point to where on that same record with Cowboys and Indians, I Rode the Wild Horses kind of does a similar thing. It's a minor chord kind of alternate bass line thing. And then there's a song on that record called Heart Attacks that is kind of a similar thing. And then I just kind of, I like it. It's almost like it ran its course. It was at its peak when we wrote Cowboys and Indians and Ringling Road. Like, and then I don't know if I've written another one like that since.
Yeah. So you do. It's like you go in these little phases
kind of obsessed
almost.
over them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, but you're not obsessive.
I'm not obsessive. Not obsessive.
I swear I'm not.
I swore. Let me spend 5 hours obsessed over
you become obsessed about not being obsessed with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know why. I love, and I still do. There's really not, you get tired of playing some of your old songs. Like, see, I don't either. And I think it's because, I don't know. And it might just be getting older and having kind of like the perspective of how lucky I still am that I get to write songs that I have, that good or bad, I have the ability to do it. But even though I don't write those types of like songs anymore, I don't get tired of playing them, you know, like
I think I'm actually so unimpressed with my ability. It feels like every time I play it, I just kind of discover like a new way of doing it in ways.
Yeah.
It's every time I perform one of my songs, I'm like, I'm kind of unimpressed with how I do it. So I'm just like, gosh, I just don't even feel like I've still ever nailed one of them.
I know that feeling, but that's
so it's like every time I play it, I'm just like, let's see what we got today.
So,
you know, so it's like almost fresh every time I do it. I just don't. There's maybe been like a few times that like I'll just get done with playing or something and just be like, yep.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I know that feeling. That to me is kind of I have that same feeling with gigs. I can count on one hand the amount of times where I was one hand over a decade of like, I crushed that. Maybe I could have sounded better, but I know that I personally couldn't have done any better than what I did on that a handful of times over a decade. Usually the first thing in my head is you did that, you know, like smile and wave. And then when I get kind of by myself, it's like automatically kind of just going through the notes of like, okay, tomorrow do this better because you did that. Like
I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I
am too.
But sometimes I'll listen back maybe to like a tape of the show or something. There's been times I listen back and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you're kind of crushing right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounded great.
Yeah.
You know, not great, but it sounds far better than I like in the moment in my head.
I saw, you're allowed to give yourself a compliment. It does sound great. It does sound great. And if you think it sounds great, I'm speaking to myself right now too. No matter what you're doing, it doesn't have to be music. Like, it's okay to be proud of what you do. You know, it's okay to be proud of yourself.
Well, I'm proud of myself because I give my best effort always. Yeah. Like I'm addicted to effort. Just give 100% effort.
Yeah.
So I'm always like proud of my effort.
Yeah.
How well I do something. Sometimes I'm disappointed, but I can always like hang my hat on the idea that I just
you gave it everything.
All.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I feel the same way. There's times so I've had this conversation with my wife, you know, there's always the conversation in this industry of like, comparison is the thief of joy. And, you know, there shouldn't be a metric of success. There's not one, general kind of metric of success or, the stay in your lane thing or yada, yada. I've found myself being really guilty of not being so like, comparative or, and never like jealous of somebody's success or, but I always thought the conversation was interesting where it's like, hey, like stay in your lane, like what they're doing doesn't really affect you. But now everything is on this metric of numbers, right? So it's like, yeah, but it kind of does, like the metric does matter. Otherwise, it wouldn't show how many monthly listeners anybody has on Spotify. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what makes our industry unique. It's like, so I'm putting a bow on this. This is going somewhere, I promise you. But I think it's easy it's been really easy for me if I feel like I've given my best effort on a song, or if I sing a song that I'm really proud of, and I know I'm proud of the song, and I know that I did the best I could writing and performing the song. And if it lands flat in front of a crowd or something, it is human to be like, oh, maybe that song sucks. Maybe like that, like letting that negativity creep in. So I think I've been spending my 30s trying to kind of like not make peace, but understand the difference. Understand that's like going back to our conversation from earlier, knowing that you are satisfied with the work that you're putting forth and you have no control over the perception of it, because a different me, my 20s or whatever, has definitely been more bothered by like, oh, I'm so proud of the song. Nobody gives a shit. The song sucks. I suck or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Stay in your lane. There's no metric. It's like, yeah, but you didn't get this gig and somebody else did and they have more motivation. You know what I mean? It's like you go down that rabbit hole and it's not fair to do, I think, as a songwriter. You know what I mean?
Probably not. There's a healthy amount of it, but yeah, it can start to become debilitating.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess so. We were talking earlier before you got here. There's like this really good interview with Ethan Hawke where I forget who it's with. I'm sure it's a quick Google. But he's talking about getting into acting and he's essentially saying that if you get into it for the right reasons, that you have to make peace with the prospect of potentially being the 60-year-old woman who teaches theater at the local community college. That if you get into it, you have to know that the rest is up to the world and what they do with what you chose. Like you can't really control that.
Yeah, be a lifer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just don't jive that well with people that are just in it for attention.
Yeah.
Just attention.
Clearly this guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you do you do all the right things.
That's how that's how come why I got so many TikTok followers. I don't know what you're really good at TikTok. You just figured
Me?
it. Yeah, I think yours are great. And not to go down this rabbit hole. Said I wouldn't.
It sounds like you want to.
Every now and then I'm like, me and my wife O'Neill will be like kind of BSing back and forth. I'm like, we should have videotaped that. That'd be funny. And then you go to like maybe recreate it and it's like, that's stupid. Let's go make a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't recreate that magic on some of the thing.
Yeah, some of it just needs to be organic. I think I got shadow banned on TikTok. We're pretty sure we did, right? Yeah. I got shadow. Well, it's shadow banned. I mean, I got like striked for like multiple things.
But how do you know?
I was doing a lot. Well, they send you a message too. Well, the shadow banning, they don't send you a message, but you can so clearly see like when you're getting a certain amount of reach and then just like all of a sudden it's like, you go from getting a lot of reach to just like nothing. And then my account got like hit for like a few things. Like I was driving while I was doing a TikTok live one time.
Oh,
they shut it down. That was the first one, I think. And then second one was I was on another live and then I said gay, but I asked like, I was like, well, that might be gay. I'm like, is that gay? And then it shut it down like immediately.
Really?
Bam. And then like they sent a message
Wow.
and like said you got banned or something like that. Or like they put it on hold, right? For like 30 days.
30
I
days.
couldn't lock in. And then there was another one I was shoeing horses.
God,
at
dude,
one of,
you're a problem.
At one of, I guess.
You're a
And
reckless
Yeah,
liability.
a real troublemaker on TikTok. Yeah. An outlaw. Yeah, that's the new age outlaw is
you're
just
an
saying I wasn't even saying gay and like a
Man, you see that? That's Jarrod Morris. He's been banned on TikTok
Yeah, dude.
7 times.
I didn't even say it in like a negative way at all. It wasn't a slur or anything. It was just the word.
You're right.
And to get banned for 30 days. And then the next one was I was at I was shoeing, and then my customer has a daughter that's like, I think she's like she's 8 or 9 or something. But I was shoeing her horses. She's a little barrel racer. And she was like, oh, hey, it'd be really fun to like do a TikTok live while you shoe. And then I can read out the comments to you.
Mhm.
And then you can like say stuff. But she's like in front of the phone screen and I'm back there shoeing, right?
That was her idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
And so, yeah, and it was fun. Like, and I was just shoeing and she was like, so-and-so is saying this, and then so I was just like saying it back. They shut it down. And then they striked my account because I had a minor on there. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, oh my, because that's an age restriction. If you're under 18, right? Isn't it? If you're under 18, you can't be on TikTok Live, which I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
So-
took a video of my baby throwing up. It's on my
Yeah,
TikTok.
watch out, dude. They're going to freaking strike you for something worse than you could ever imagine. It's insane, dude. So that was one of them.
Man,
what
I should
was the
probably-
other one? I think there was one for smoking too.
Well, that's just
Smoking
bad
a
for
cigarette.
You,
So I
that's
was like,
bad.
listen
You
here,
don't-
TikTok. So I called him on the phone.
You said, hey, is this tick or talk? I got some.
I said, I'm
got
over
somebody
here in
to-
Winston-Salem right now.
Is that where they're based at?
No, that's where the cigarette company is.
Oh,
Right. So anyways, so like, yeah, after that, like our reach just like disappeared for a while. And then
It's
now
back.
it's
You're
like,
back.
well, sort of, you can tell it like it's weird, but it all ebbs and flows. But even I just don't get super wrapped up in it. It's like, just do the work. I even had to find the joy in like, I like the idea of even, doing videos and connecting. And I just don't post something if I don't like it. And I think it's stupid.
yeah.
Then I'm not going to do it just for the sake of doing it. And it all ebbs and flows. The amount of people that have had these like blow up moments that everybody starts talking about and then like nobody talks about them anymore is hilarious. Because you get texts from people that are like, hey man, so-and-so is really blowing up. And I'll be like, yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And they're like, man, you should do, because I know the next thing is going to
Do
be like,
what
you
they
should
do.
do. Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
whatever they're doing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, whatever. The problem is you're only ever going to get the text, hey, so-and-so is blowing up. That same person never texts you back like a year later, 2 years later and says, hey, remember when I told you so-and-so was really having a moment and blowing up? They don't have anything going on now. They like kind of went backwards. They never do like a follow-up text about that person.
Yeah.
So if you're too obsessed with what everybody else is doing, you'll just get inundated with like, there's always going to be people that
Have
are
you
going to,
thought about trying this?
yeah, there's always going to be people that are more successful than you in that moment.
Right.
But you're comparing yourself to like this endless, to the
that-
entire
that's where-
world.
That's where it
Like
gets.
the world just replaces itself.
Sure.
You're just you.
Have you? Well, until the robots replace you.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Have you had anybody at a show come up to you because they know you from TikTok?
Yeah.
Like not because they knew you before.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had a couple people now that are like, I don't even know you did music. I just listened to your podcast.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Maybe.
I mean,
don't
I
know.
think so.
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just always tried to keep stuff like I just want to do stuff that I like to do with people that I think are like genuine and sincere and
Yeah.
authentic. And then if I
So
just keep on that road.
Who canceled today that I got?
Yeah. I was actually going to talk with Booger here.
I love Booger.
Boogie Woogie.
Yeah. How old's Boog here?
Well, so we co-wrote a couple songs on my new record.
We wrote one, well, funny thing.
Hmm.
So, do you know this story?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
It's quite embarrassing.
It's actually really funny. So, our writing style is through text message.
Yeah.
About 90% of it is through text message, which is great. And then phone
we've
calls.
gotten together in person before.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is like just driving and phone calls and whatever. And, it works. That works great. Like it works great. So you were in Nashville, like 2 weeks ago, and you were introducing the Kick Rock's Cowboy song. And I was like, I'm pretty sure we wrote this together. You're like, no, I don't think we did. And he played it. I'm like, yeah, we did. I like show you. You're like, oh my God. But you'd replace so much of it. No, we didn't write that song.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah, we texted back and forth. We had the note section for it.
Yeah,
I just blanked on it. I just kept writing it because I will like in that type of setting too. Like I'm like bringing you some songs that are like somewhat fleshed out, and I'm like, okay, I need like a line. Like it's pretty weird. It's like I need a line here.
Yeah.
Give me like what's like 10 things that like you think could like work right here, and then you rattle off a bunch of like cool shit, and then it's like. Yeah, then just like get back in the meat grinder, It's kind of a weird way of like writing a song. That's not always how like a co-write normally goes.
No, there's been some early on that you sent me that I was like, you already wrote the song. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna at all give you
that
a
one.
word
That one was really funny though.
That was really funny.
Well, because the next one I was gonna play was one that we wrote together, and I was like,
and then you just went into Kick Rock's Cowboy instead.
Yeah. And then you were like, wait, which one? And I was like, well, we wrote that other one. And you were like, well, we wrote that one too. And I was like, wait, yeah.
So I wrote a song today on the drive up here. We were going through Paris. There's a billboard when you get into town. It's a billboard. It's in red duct tape. And it says, Leah, I'm sorry. I love you. Which is great. And so I wrote it into a poem, and I think I'm just gonna do it as like I just recite it as a poem, like it shows. Maybe with no music behind it, just no guitar.
Just waterboard your audience with a poem.
I might do it this weekend, but I just was like imagining. So I Googled to see what the average cost for a billboard was in Paris, Texas. So the whole thing is like. He promised her Paris. They ended up in Paris, Texas, and the whole thing, and then he like looks up to like he screws up. I don't want to give too much away because you'll see tomorrow when we're playing in Turkey, but where it's like he's gonna go take out an ad on a billboard, just profess his love and. Declare how sorry he is, but it's $673. And so he just finds a roll of red duct tape instead. It's like a way cheaper fix. It was so, I don't know. We laughed. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
I don't know. Poor gal. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But, I wrote it and then I recited it to my wife and she started laughing. I was like, I don't think this is a song. I think this is something that you just recite as a poem.
Well, I'm a freaking massive fan, dude. As a person, no. Not really, but
yeah.
As a writer and stuff, yeah, you do have a way of putting some really unique stuff together.
Well, thank you.
And you got such a cool presence too with like cultivating, like making people feel comfortable to like be themselves and be creative and stuff, which is rare as well.
I don't like these compliments.
Yeah. Those West Texas boys don't.
Well, and likewise.
No, you don't have to do that.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I know.
That's not what
I know it's not.
Yeah.
I know it's not. But also for years it was like, what every one of our like mutual friends.
Every person.
Have y'all hung out together yet?
Yeah, they're like every person. They just be like, man, I really think you and Ross Cooper. So now I'm waiting to show you these songs too. We're like almost done mixing.
Yeah. Don't show them to me until you're
That's
ready to show them.
They're rocking, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. When's that gonna come out?
Just in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it already summer?
Well, yeah. I like to keep it open-ended.
Yeah. A summer. It could be.
It's gonna happen in a year, in my life.
Dude, 2000.
Yeah.
20.
Well, so when people hear this, your record will be out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, that was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
It is way exciting. There's those like live records, you know, like live from the old quarter and the like the Adam Carroll live records, Todd Snyder live records. Like I love all those records, and you're just listening to a guy sing songs with a guitar, you know, and I love being in the studio and making production decisions. And this is like the first time in my life that I've taken that all away from myself. And I think it's a good thing right now.
Hell yeah.
And it is really scary. And I'm fully kind of prepared for people to either like not get it or not like it. But that I also know that that's a negative. Like I should be that's a negative outlook. You know, I should be like, well, I'm really prepared for people to really love it and be their thing, you know? But I think I'm saying that to say that it was, I'm really, really proud of it. And for way different reasons, like it is a 1,000% different record than Lightning Heart or Chasing Old Heart or anything that I've done. It's got some of those songs, but this is like, there's some moments where I'm like, whoa, that's a human moment right there, you know?
Go.
And I debated. So Charlie Stout did some engineering on it for me, and there was one song in particular where I was like, man, I could fix this vocal or whatever at my house and make it pretty seamless. And thank God Charlie talked me out of it. He was like, that's not what this record is.
What a G.
And he's like, if that's what you want to do, yeah, we'll do it. But I'm going to make the case that you shouldn't do it.
What a G.
And so we didn't. And just it's there.
Well, y'all, Ross has been a part of a lot of songs that you guys jam and are some of your favorite songs. And I don't think he's gotten the credit that he's due. And I'm hoping that, yeah, people will go listen to this stuff and listen to him. He's just a freaking lyric wizard, and he writes unbelievable melodies and really dope chord progressions. And he's a great producer and a great songwriter. And he's a really cool dude. He's the same off the court as he is on the court. And I'm glad you're my friend.
Likewise, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank y'all for listening. Adios. Do your Aussie sign off.
I'll only do it if you promise to take it out of the very beginning.
I can't. Well, I think but this is the way my bank account set up. I can't do it. Go for it.
Well, yeah. I guess we'll see you next time, eh?